The neighborhood slept. A hush lay heavy on Elm Street, broken only by the rustle of leaves. The houses stood silent, shrouded in shadows, except for one. At the end of the street, perched atop a hill, loomed a Victorian mansion. Its silhouette, dark and imposing, was a stark contrast to the peaceful tableau. The house was a relic of a bygone era. Its once bright paint had faded to a dull grey, and the ornate details seemed to sag under the weight of time. The windows, like vacant eyes, stared out blankly, reflecting the streetlights in distorted glimmers. It was a house that whispered secrets, a house that held its breath. An unsettling stillness clung to the mansion, as if even the air around it was afraid to move. It was the kind of stillness that spoke of secrets buried deep, of stories whispered but never told. And on this night, under the watchful gaze of the moon, the secrets of the old house on the hill were about to be unearthed. The mansion on Elm Street had always been the subject of hushed whispers. Locals told tales of its original owner, a wealthy industrialist named Silas Blackwood, who met an untimely end within its walls. His fortune, they said, vanished with him, leaving the mansion to fall into disrepair. Blackwood, they whispered, was a cruel man, known for his ruthless business practices and his even crueler treatment of his family. His wife, a beautiful but fragile woman, died under mysterious circumstances, and his only son disappeared without a trace. Some said the son had run away, unable to bear his father's tyranny. Others claimed a darker fate, whispering of foul play within the mansion's walls. Whatever the truth, a pall had fallen over the house after Blackwood's demise. Subsequent owners came and went, driven away by strange occurrences and an overwhelming sense of dread. The house on Elm Street, once a symbol of prosperity, became a monument to tragedy, its grandeur tarnished by the secrets it held. Emily and Ben had always been fascinated by local lore. New to the neighborhood, they found themselves drawn to the stories surrounding the mansion on Elm Street. The tales of Silas Blackwood and his ill-fated family, far from repelling them, ignited a spark of curiosity within their souls. One crisp autumn evening, their curiosity got the better of them. They found themselves standing at the foot of the hill, gazing up at the imposing structure. The setting sun cast long shadows across the lawn, and the wind rustled through the trees, creating a symphony of eerie whispers. "Do you think it's true?" Emily asked, her voice barely a whisper. "About the Blackwoods, I mean." "Who knows?" Ben replied, his eyes fixed on the house. "But there's only one way to find out." With a mixture of excitement and trepidation, they began their ascent, their footsteps echoing in the stillness of the evening. As they drew closer, the mansion seemed to loom larger, its shadow stretching out like an ominous premonition. They were about to step into the heart of the legend, and little did they know, the house on Elm Street was waiting. The front door creaked open with a groan, as if protesting after years of silence. The air inside was stale and heavy, thick with the scent of decay and dust. Emily and Ben exchanged a nervous glance, their footsteps echoing on the hardwood floor as they stepped inside. The interior of the mansion was a labyrinth of dimly lit hallways and cavernous rooms. Cobwebs clung to the once grand chandeliers, and the furniture was draped in dusty sheets like ghosts of occupants past. Each step they took seemed to stir the silence, sending shivers down their spines. As they ventured deeper into the house, they began to discover strange and unsettling things. In the study they found a desk covered in faded ink, a half-written letter filled with rambling accusations and pleas for forgiveness. In the dining room, a place setting lay undisturbed on the table, a single withered rose resting on a silver platter. Each room they explored seemed to whisper fragments of the past, piecing together a grim tapestry of tragedy and despair. The house on Elm Street was like a forgotten tomb, and they were walking among the ghosts of its former inhabitants.